Good evening. I'm Alicia James, and I am your Assistant Commissioner for Community Supervision. And we are so excited to have with us today Alyssia Overby from District 40 and Marty Dreher from District 40. And we're going to be talking about everything related to the Public Safety Act and our new initiatives and new equipment in community supervision. So we'll start out by introductions. Do you guys want to give an introduction of who you are and what you do?
Of course. I'm Marty Dreher. I'm a parole and probation manager with the department. I've been with the department for 3 years.
Okay, awesome.
I'm Alyssia Overby. I'm a probation parole officer 3, and I'm currently a field training officer.
Oh, big job, responsibilities here. So, we are now 60 days into the Public Safety Act and 60 days into 2017. From your perspective, what are some of the benefits that you're seeing from the Public Safety Act in your district?
Well, thanks for the opportunity to respond to that, Commissioner James. The PSA, which is the Public Safety Act, has given us a structured approach to responding to the needs and the assessments of our offenders. Gives the officer the opportunity to use discretion, a range of discretion, in sanctioning him.
Okay, awesome. And I know we had sanctions before, but now it's more concrete, right? And what we're doing and more standardized across the board. So,
It is.
That allows officers a great opportunity to be consistent.
Yes.
So what have you seen in, your day-to-day job functions, from the officers that you supervise or being a PPO3 yourself? What have you seen with the changes as it relates to the PSA?
Well, I can say personally that the officers certainly appreciate the opportunity to use the discretion granted by the PSA in sanctioning, since they develop the relationship with the offenders. And as you know, our sole job is to help offenders change and alter their behavior so that they can return to the community and be responsible and contributing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Alyssia, what's your take on that?
I definitely agree. I think the STRONG-R, we moved to the STRONG-R assessment, and we were utilizing the risk and needs assessment. Now with the STRONG-R, we are able to utilize getting to know the offender better, getting more into depth with those criminogenic needs. And part of our mission is to provide effective community supervision and enhance public safety, and the STRONG-R does just that. Absolutely,
building that format for pro-social life and pro-social life skills and really breaking down that antisocial behavior, because we know that's what's going to change, their practices is the way that they actually think. So that's awesome. So, the STRONG-R, you talked about the STRONG-R risk and needs assessment tool. I guess, Marty, from your seat, what have you seen as it relates to your officers actually conducting the STRONG-R and having those assessments? How much better are we today with assessing the needs of our offenders to reduce recidivism?
Well, the industry, Commissioner James, certainly relies on evidence-based practices. The STRONG-R has provided the outcomes and the results, so the officers are certainly more confident in what they're doing in terms of altering that behavior with the offenders.
That's awesome. That's just a refinement in what we're doing. And I know you recently were trained on the STRONG-R assessment tool. Any takeaways from that as far as, programming recommendations or anything that you see with that's going to make us better as an agency?
Yes, we definitely have more go-tos for them. Like I said, it is evidence-based and it goes off their criminogenic needs. So if someone needs to go to victim impact class or different programs, we now have those in place to utilize those.
That's awesome. You said you were an FTO, field training officer.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about that program and who you train and kind of your benefit from that program?
Yes. As a probation officer, we go through a 6-week training academy. So whenever the trainees come back from the academy, it can be overwhelming. So the field training officer can take away some of that stress for them and utilize that training that they received at the academy and make it more hands-on.
Okay, awesome. And I know, constantly interacting with newer officers probably brings a different perspective to what you do. So can you talk a little bit about your benefits that you're seeing from that?
I'm wanting to keep going higher in TDOC.
Yeah.
This is just a stepping stone, starting as a probation parole officer 3, and I'm able to supervise without being a manager. So this is This is helping me grow as a leader within the department, and I'm able to learn from my trainees.
Yes.
I'm a probation officer, but I also get to see the parole side as well.
That's awesome. And, you know, we are so focused on leadership training, and I was sharing with our viewers and, you know, our staff basically that we have so many leadership opportunities coming up in the future, and that's going on right now, you know, between Lead Tennessee and the Commissioners Academy, different DOHR programs. We even have a brand new Management Institute coming online, so you'll be going to that soon. And we have plenty of opportunities for growth, and we're getting stronger as a division, and it's an exciting time to be a part of this division. Wouldn't you say?
I certainly agree with that. I'm looking forward to the training on all aspects of it. As you know, I'm always submitting suggestions and asking questions, and certainly glad to see that we've incorporated that.
That's awesome. So tell me about your take on the equipment that we have now. The way community supervision officers look in the community is completely different than 5 years ago or 10 years ago. We're trying to better outfit you to do your job. And tell me like your take on that, or what you've seen, you know, actually in the offices.
Whenever I started 3 years ago, we didn't have uniforms, state vehicles, cell phones that we could use, the duty belts, the weapons. So just in 3 years, we've come a long way in TDOC. And we're now being proactive versus reactive, and that's how an agency should operate. So we are able to keep ourselves safe as well as the community when we are conducting home visits and in-office visits.
Right, because I mean, our offender population are felony offenders, you know,
Yes.
and you guys have a very hard job going into the community. I think the visibility is important, and we're kind of like this weird hybrid that's awesome. We are law enforcement and social work, and you know, all wrapped into one. And so what you do, I want you guys to know, you know, what you do is so important and critical to public safety. We value you, you know that. We talk often about new ideas and ways to grow as a division. Marty, from your seat, what have you seen as an added bonus, I guess, from the equipment that we now have in community supervision?
Well, thanks. I can see it from two perspectives. Having the experience of being in law enforcement, I think it certainly is an advantage for parole and probation officers to have it as well, not from an offensive standpoint, but to have it there as an officer. Like I said, we take it from a two-faceted approach. We're providing services to the offenders, from the counseling to help change that behavior. But if the time ever presents itself to where there's a need, we have the equipment.
Right, to
and the
protect
training.
yourself, yeah, or your
Yes,
fellow officer.
yes.
We always want you guys to be safe. So I know I'm taking time out of your day, and I really appreciate you guys coming down and spending some time with us and letting your peers see you in your official capacity and just giving feedback about that. So if you have any questions for us, make sure you email BI_community supervision, and we will look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right.